Hello guys, it's your boy here, Classic Forex speaking. You know how we do it. We simplify the complicated. Alright, so my last pre-market analysis, I'm going to break down AUDCHF from the monthly time frame all the way to a 4-hour time frame, where I'm going to be picking my entry to the downside. Now AUDCHF, I'm going to start the analysis as I said on the monthly time frame. So let's begin with the analysis. Alright, now this is my monthly upper zone over here on the monthly time frame, and then my monthly lower zone as well. Now if you look closely, price have seen sell pressure from this monthly resistance level and is dropping all the way to a downside. So the question is, where is this sell pressure that we are seeing on the monthly time frame going to end? This sell pressure is coming all the way to make contact or to end on this support level before we may see what buy to the upside as reversal, or what a break and then continue to move further down. All right, so the move on the monthly time frame currently is to a downside, and that's why we are going to be capitalizing on this. We are going to capitalize on the overall direction on the monthly all the way to a downside over here. But we cannot stand on the monthly and pick entry. You need to go through the various time frames to understand the structure of each and every time before we get to our final entry. So let's take it all the way to a weekly time frame to know exactly what has happened over here on the day time frame. So let's go all the way to the weekly. Alright, so this is the weekly time frame on AUDCHF. Now, AUDCHF on the weekly time frame, let's put meaning into this time frame as well. Now, over here, we have a weekly upper zone, mid-range zone, and then lower zone as well. Let's try as much as possible to put meaning into this weekly time frame as well. Now, the weekly time frame on AUDCHF, price has given us a weekly push, a weekly exhaustion, a weekly continuational push the downside, breaking below this lower low. Price has come all the way down. So here we are expecting a weekly push again, another weekly exhaustion, another weekly continuational push to a downside to make it to the monthly support level. But if you look closely on this weekly time frame, price has not yet completed the weekly push to even give us the weekly exhaustion before the overall sell to a downside. All right. So on this weekly time frame, price has to first complete the weekly push, come back for weekly exhaustion before we can pick a sell over here to go in the overall direction of the market that we predicted on the monthly time. So before we can go in that overall direction on the monthly, we need to pick a sell at this area after what price give us the weekly exhaustion. But since the weekly push over here is not yet complete, that means that we can capitalize on this weekly push before it completes. The weekly exhaustion will set in, and then the overall sell to a downside. So I'm going to go through the various time frames again and then look for a sell from here all the way to a downside to complete the weekly push first before weekly exhaustion can set in, and then the overall sell to the downside back to this monthly support level. So let's go all the way to a daily time frame for further look and further analysis. Alright, so this is the daily time frame on AUDCHF. Now, if you look closely at AUDCHF on the daily time frame, this is the same push that we are waiting for to complete on the weekly before weekly exhaustion and the weekly continuational push back all the way down. But we're on the daily time frame. Let's talk about things related to the daily time frame. Now, if you look closely at the daily time frame on AUDCHF, look very closely over here. We have a daily upper zone and then a daily lower zone as well. Let us also try and put meaning into this daily time frame analysis. Alright, so this is the daily push to the downside, daily exhaustion, daily continuational push, but price failed to break below the lower low here on the daily. Instead, found buy pressure to go all the way back up to create another lower high here on the daily, which has seen sell pressure to a downside. So the daily time frame, price has created equal lower high over here, which has seen the second wave of sell pressure, pushing price all the way back down. So in daily time frame, you're going to see price move from here and then come all the way back down to this weekly support level to complete the weekly push that we talked about on the weekly time frame. All right. So on this particular area, on the day time frame, we are going to pick our entry around here on the 4-hour time frame all the way to a downside to complete the weekly push to a downside. So the sell that we are looking for over here to the downside, we are only capitalizing on the weekly push that has to complete before weekly exhaustion and then the overall sell to a downside again. Now let's take it all the way to a 4-hour time frame and look at how you can pick our entry to a downside to capitalize on the weekly push that we are expecting to complete. Alright, so this is the 4-hour time frame on AUDCHF. Now if you look closely at AUDCHF on the 4-hour time frame, alright, We have our 4H upper zone over here and our 4H lower zone here as well. Now let's talk about what has happened around this particular area. So look at something over here. Okay, if you look closely around this particular area, immediately price, okay, came all the way back up to create the daily what equal lower high. Okay, price has broken structure at the same daily what lower high, okay, giving us what a firm confirmation that price is coming all the way down over here. So if you look closely at this 4 hour time frame, this is the movement of price that has happened so far. Okay, so price has been able to break structure on the 4 hour time frame at the daily resistance level, giving us a firm what confirmation that price will come all the way down over here. So on the 4 hour time frame currently, we have what a lower low here. Price will go up to create a lower high, which will start picking a sell all the way back down over here to capitalize on the what weekly push that we have been talking about. So this is how we're going to pick our entry on this 4 hour time frame. This is going to be a push exhaustion. We pick ourselves from here all the way back down. All right, so our entry, SL and TP, the coordinates are on the screen, so you guys can what fix this on your chart and then try it out once the market opens. All right, so there's only one thing that can make this setup invalid. That's if price does not come back for exhaustion for us to pick our sell here to a downside and then continuously move from here to a downside, this setup will become what invalid. That means that you have to readjust and look for another possible sell entry again to the downside. So that is it for AUDCHF. If you love what I do over here, make sure that you like this video, comment to help the channel out, and then join my Telegram channel in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Stay classy and trade classy. Peace. I'm out.